Hey y'all, welcome back to the garage. Today we got this four cycle Craftsman blower. It won't run. It'll idle, but it won't rev up. So we'll get the camera turned around here and we'll see what we got going on and see if we can't get this thing to take off and run. So hang on and we'll bring her right back. Alright y'all, I got the air cleaner taken off here. I did try to test run it. It will run maybe half throttle. This has got the little manual throttle. It doesn't have the trigger on it. It'll run about half throttle. If you play with the choke a little bit, it might run a little bit more. But the big thing I noticed is there's fuel just pouring out of this thing. And it actually looks like two-stroke fuel, but this is a four-stroke, so there's no mixing of the fuel. The guy that owns it said he did put new fuel lines on it, but the other thing I noticed too is the primer ball is empty. So even when I push it, it won't do anything. And there's, you know, that yeah, about that much fuel in this tank, so should be plenty of fuel. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get down in there and check these fuel lines, make sure they're actually down in the fuel, and make sure that they has the filter and stuff on it. But the other thing I'm going to check too is I've used this yellow fuel line here before, and you have to open up these holes where it goes through. This is not the stock fuel line for this blower, and I've had it where it goes through this tank and will actually pinch that off enough that it won't run on its own. It'll start and idle, but it doesn't have enough to pump that fuel up. So let me grab a couple tools here and we'll get this down into this tank and start looking to see what we got going on in there. Alright y'all, before we get to that fuel line, I don't know if you guys can see that. I took this foam filter there, and there's a spot back there too where it actually soaked through the rag, and I just pressed down on it to see what was going on. And I mean, look at that. That thing is saturated with fuel. So, and I can see back in the hole where this thing goes, there is just fuel laying down in there. Now, I know there's supposed to be a little bit of like oily residue on here to catch the fine dust and stuff, but that is way excessive. So that fuel is just pouring out of that carburetor. So yeah, alright, so you guys might find that interesting there to see what's going on there. Alright, we'll bring you back when we get to them fuel tank and lines. Alright y'all, got my trusty dusty here, little fuel line hook for these small blowers and stuff. And well, I got one line there. There's the other one. And there is no fuel filter on that thing. Either one of them. So I don't know if it's in the bottom of the tank. There's a piece of the old fuel line that he replaced. So I'm wondering if without having that fuel filter on there, if it didn't suck something up into that carburetor and not letting it pull fuel. I can hear it trying to suck. Yeah, that's the pickup line there. and it was down under the fuel level. See if I can't push it back down in there and see if I can't get that thing to prime. It's pushing, yeah, it's pushing bubbles back out. So, yep, it's going to need a carburetor rebuild. So, I'm going to get it pulled off here. I don't have a kit for this here, I know for sure. I'm going to have to order it. So, it might be a few days for me, but it'll probably just be a few seconds for you guys. And we'll get back to this and get a fuel filter put on there and get that carburetor rebuilt. So, alright y'all, I'm going to get this, show you how to take this carburetor off here, because I need to get the numbers off of it and everything, and see what carburetor it actually is. And like I said before, I know I don't have a rebuild kit for this because I try not to do 2 strokes anymore, even though this is a 4 stroke. I don't like messing with those little small carburetors anymore. My arthritis in my hands is getting bad, and I just don't like doing it. So real easy, 2 screws, pull that off right there. Now that must be a crankcase breather. Like I said, I've never worked on one of these before. So and there's your throttle right there. And it just has a little wire that comes out, catches on that. Vroom, vroom, vroom. So, like I said, more than likely what's happened is when that old fuel line was down in that tank without that filter, I mean, that stuff is just turning into powder, and I bet you it sucks some of that stuff up in there. So, alright, I'm going to get this cleaned up a little bit, get some numbers off it, and see if we can't get a rebuild kit coming for it, or at least the diaphragm kits and stuff. Yes, it's pushing some out, but it's not drawing it right there. It just, that primer is bad in there. So, all right. And if I held over that, it'll actually push that fuel out, the return, and the pickup. Bet you if I hold over that one, it'll. Yeah, see, I can't. It's not picking up anything. So, all right. We'll bring you all back in a minute. Alright y'all, if you've stuck with the video this long, thank you very much. Don't forget to go down there and hit that thumbs up button. For you guys, it's been probably just a few minutes. For me, it's been 3 or 4 days. I went to 3 or 4 different small engine shops around, and nobody had this kit in stock. It would be at least a week or more to get it, if they could get it, if it was still available. So I went on and found one. I ordered it in the morning. It was here the next afternoon. So thank you very much. You know, the Jungle website. Appreciate it. So I'm gonna get the camera set up here, get this thing tore apart, see if we can't get this kit in here, because the guy wants his blower back. Snow blower. So we're gonna do that and see if we can't get this thing to run. Let me get the camera set up like I said, and we'll get back to working on this thing. Alright, got the carburetor there. Let's see if we can get you all in a little tighter. Kind of see what's going on here. And this is going to be a fairly simple carburetor. It's just the one side, it's not one of the bigger ones. So easy to do. Pull the 4 screws out here on the top. Got everything underneath here. And I did find another primer bulb, and I picked up a filter for in the fuel tank. So hopefully that all works for it. If you guys remember, did not have a filter in the tank, so I'm thinking when that old fuel line come apart. Sorry, I wasn't on camera. When that old fuel line started deteriorating, I think that's was in the bottom of the tank. Without that filter in there, I think it sucked a bunch of that stuff up in here. So alright, there's that. There's our primer. There's our diaphragm. Fuel pump diaphragm. It don't feel bad. But just remember what orientation this is in. Gasket goes on the top, facing up. So, see if I can get this thing cracked apart. Maybe not. Do this without, there we go, without jabbing myself in the, ooh, she's dirty down in there. She's a dirty, dirty girl. Alright. Same thing with this gasket and diaphragm setup. Just remember which way it goes. Diaphragm goes against this. And I can already feel grit in my hand here. So, and the kit looks like it does come with a needle, but that needle looks way too big for that, for down in that carburetor there. So I may just try to blow that out and shoot it with some brake parts cleaner here. So I'm gonna do that off camera, so I don't squirt you guys in the eye. I'm just roll this here. Everything's clear, clean, feeling like it should. So, I'll just get it out. Or just set up. You know what I'm doing. Just trying to go through the holes. Everything all flushed out. Alright, that's all cleaned out. Do this half. Shoot something out. Alright. There's that all cleaned up now. That's all cleaned up fairly good. Give me a towel here and wipe my hands off. And we're going to open this pack up. Dump all this stuff out. Now this is like a master kit. There's more pieces in here than what I'm going to need, so try to pull that little stopper there out of the primer ball. I'm going to go ahead and clean that up. Make sure that's all clear and clean. Alright. She's looking good. Alright. Wipe that off. Dry it off a little bit. Get our new seat here. Make sure she fits. And yes, sir. Right down in there like she should. I'm just checking to make sure it's seating down in there right. And actually this one isn't the right one, because they are a slightly different size. Maybe not. Maybe I didn't have it pushed down in far enough. I don't know. We're gonna get her. Alright, that feels better now. I just didn't have it pushed down in far enough. Alright, there's that. Let's start reassembly now. We need to find a gasket and a diaphragm. It looks like that. Like I said, this is like a master kit, so hey, there'd be the diaphragm. And that kind of looks like the gasket, so there's those two. goes on this side like that, just like that, and then it goes down on like, okay, sorry, had the wrong piece. It goes on there like something like that. Yep, but there's a little spring that goes down there, so I need to set that down in there first. Come on. The little spring sits right down in there. Make sure she's good and flat, like that. Something like that. That's pretty close. And then this goes in there like that. She gets all sandwiched in there, nice and pretty. And then we need, I believe it's this gasket. Flip that one over. Nope, it's going to be this gasket right here. Kind of looks like that. And it will go on like that. Get them holes lined up. Something like that. And then our new fuel pump. There's the new fuel pump, which goes on like that. Right. Nope. Flip it over like that. Big old paws, little teeny parts. Alright. And we got the Mr. Perimeter. Look at that. Look at that. That's a beautiful sandwich, ain't it? Gotta love it. Alright. I should have popped this out prior. Look at that. That's a beautiful new. That's a beautiful new primer. Alright. Look at that. She's looking good. Did I put that on? I put that on her backwards. Y'all didn't stop me. Thank you. There we go. Yeah, there she fits a lot better now. Alright. Run these screws back in here. I know I'm not doing a full rebuild on this. We're just doing the diaphragms and stuff, but I believe the problem was in this primer. Sucked up a bunch of that real fine plastic from that old fuel line. That was real brittle and junky. So, alright. Just tighten down. Alright, there she is. She's all back together. Make sure she, oh yeah, I can hear her moving. So, alright, I'm going to get this back on the blower, and we'll bring you all back when we're ready to try to test fire it. So, hang on. Alright y'all, got that carburetor back on there. Got the fuel lines back on, put the fuel filter down in the tank. Pulled out another piece of line here that's just completely falling apart. So I know there was fine particles down in there, so let's give this thing a pull too here, see if we can get her. And I have already primed it there, so I'm gonna give her full beans, full choke. She's not wanting to fire. There are a few more primes there. Oh, she tried. She tried there too. Take that choke off there. Alright, y'all. Give her some full throttle now. Let me go back over this and see what I did wrong. Alright, y'all. I just primed it a few more times and choked it, and she fired right up. So alright, I'm going to get the air cleaner and stuff back on there, and we'll bring her back and fire her up one more time for y'all. I don't have the air cleaner cover here. This piece of equipment was dropped off to me at my daily job. I remember pulling the cover off. Actually, I remember seeing it there today and thinking I should grab that and take it home with me. But I didn't. So, but it does run. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If y'all have a small piece of equipment like this that the fuel lines go bad on, it doesn't have to be a blower. It can be a weed eater, 2-cycle blower, weed eater. This just happens to be the 4-cycle model. When them lines go bad, make sure you flush the tank. Make sure you clean that carburetor out and rebuild it, because as I showed you guys, this fuel line is just nothing but, it's falling to dust. It's just crumbling in my fingers. This piece here, like right here on this end, it just went to dust, And these small carburetors got the little small orifices in them, so they get plugged up real quick. Well, what are you gonna do? Next time I take a snowblower in, I think I'll get a little more information on whether it's a snow blower or a leaf blower, but either way, I'm getting paid. So hope you all enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. If you like this video, please hit that thumbs up. Help, it's free to you guys. Help the algorithm, help me out. And when you guys give thumbs up on these small engine videos, not only helps my channel, it puts suggested videos in your for you page there, and it helps all the other small engine channels out too, some of the smaller ones and stuff like that. And if it happens to come up, one of them videos happen to come up on your page, please click on their video, check them out, see what they got going on. You may like them, you may like them better than me. So anyways, I'm rambling. Thank you all for watching, appreciate it. Don't forget about the Sunday live stream, 7 p.m. Sunday evenings, Eastern Standard Time. If you ring that little bell notification, you'll get notified when I go live, or when I upload, mechanical video, or I upload a cooking video. Don't forget, I do cooking videos. Every once in a while, I do some polling videos too. But anyways, again, thank you all for watching. We'll catch you all on the next one.